Let's talk our talk. Africa voice in the diaspora. Chinebani TV. Voice of the voiceless, yo. Chinebani TV. Make we talk our talk, yo. Chinebani TV. Nobody can talk our talk for us, yo. Chinebani TV. Africa's a rise. Time don't reach, yo. Make we talk our talk, oh. Oh yeah, everybody join the Chinebani TV. Not that it happen, no. Not that it selenge. We don't talk our mind, yo. As it be now, so we don't talk more. Mama, papa, brother, sister, even the youth, oh. Subscribe and follow Chinebani TV. Eba fukona potuno, eba fukona man. Now we'll be the voice of Africa in diaspora. Chinebani TV. Voice of Africa, where they show. Chinebani TV. Now where we go there. Chinebani TV. Gather your family.
Yeah, hello my people. My name is Chinebani, your one and only celebrity CSO, and I am here today, my people. And a very important day for us because we will be having an interaction that is mind-blowing, educative, and permeating our endeavor, especially for my Igbo brothers. Igbo Kwen, Igbo Kwezwen. Tata aye mwe ufuwane aye woke gezi aye ozi ni Igwe. So, iwonye Igwe ebo abone ino. Iwonye Nigeria, iwonye Africa. Ebo abone ino. Ozi adempa. So, batia kaketa. Bidotu sabara aye ozi. Today, my people will be having on the show, you remember this show, Chinedu Anichi TV, the African Voice. We represent the voice of Africa. Chino Anchebe of the Blessed Memory say, instead of an outsider telling your story, because his story will never end without prejudice. Tell your own story, talk your own talk. So we are here to tell our own stories. And today, one of our erudite sons, and the name Honorable Gabriel Okoye of Georgia State House of Representatives in the United States of America will be speaking to Nigerians, especially the Igbo race, coming back to the room. So today, we'll be having Honorable Gabe Okoye live in this show. So anywhere you are, you know every Igbo group, every Igbo platform, in WhatsApp, in wherever it is, or yeah, start sharing this live video. Because we are going to hear what we have not heard before. Right from the United States, right from the House of Representatives of Georgia State in the United States. So what are we waiting for? So let me have the privilege today to invite to this show, this erudite son of ours, Honorable Gabe Okoye of House of Representatives of the state of Georgia, the United States. Our topic today is what the Igbos should know about themselves. Iwuro onye Igbo, ihe kwesịrị ịma as onye Igbo. Tusabara anyị ozi a, tusabara anyị ozi a. Keep sharing those in WhatsApp, those in YouTube, anywhere you are. Share this with live. Now, let me have the opportunity, my people, to introduce to this show Honorable Gabe Okoye, live in this show. Hey, Honorable. Hey, you're welcome to Chinedu Anichi TV, one of your son's platforms, and you are welcome to this very important, interview and media section.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be with you once more. I think we've chatted before in the past. So this is yet another opportunity to be with you. Thank you so much, Do, for what you do, getting information out to our people. I am very, very pleased to be here. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Honorable. Our topic today is what the Igbos should know about themselves. But before we go on, I know a lot of people, but for proper sake, we want you to properly introduce yourself to our very esteemed audience across the globe and tell them who you are, what you do, a very short profile so that they will know who is here today.
All right. Um, my name is Gabe Okoye. I am from Enugu Agidi in Njikọka local government area in Anambra State. And I am also a member of the Georgia House of Representatives and a former chairman of Nigerians in Diaspora Organization for the two continents of America, and of course, a former chairman of Igbo Union, president of Igbo Union Atlanta, and many more. But that's not the uh, focus for this discussion. So I'll be delighted to get to your questions, and hopefully I'll do justice to it, God willing. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you. Who had his brief introduction. He's this kind of person that don't want to blow trumpets, but you know what it means for an Igbo man from Enugu to find the road into the heart of voters in the United States to be representing them in the Georgia State House of Rep. So we give it to God. To God be the glory. What Jesus cannot do does not exist. So yeah. So thank you. So, my people, we will go straight today to ask him some questions about why he's here. I think we will start from a larger point of view. Let's look at Nigeria, where you come from, and where a lot of people are listening to you and say, okay, he's a Nigerian. I know you're an Igbo man before you became a Nigerian. But let's start from a larger, very, because that's recently there's a lot of things going on in Nigeria, United States, this one. But because Nigeria is not the point of discussion today, but let's just use this opportunity and privilege of having you to ask you, how do you see Nigeria? What what is Nigeria before you? If Nigeria is presented before you, what is your appraisal of the state of the country, Nigeria?
Well, thank you for that question. Um, I will tell you that Nigeria is an orphan country. Is an orphan country, and I'll explain what I mean by that. And also, uh, we can call Nigeria a country. There's also a question if that really is, because I will tell you for one thing, I'm going to use examples to illustrate. And for one thing, here in the United States, if you ask for people who are willing to die for the cause of America, you will see a long line. Try that in Nigeria. You will not find a person. But if you ask for people who will die for the Igbo cause, for people who will die for the Yoruba, or for people who will die for the Hausa, you're going to see people lining up for that. So Nigeria will fail that test of a country, of a nation, because nobody will want to die for Nigeria, but people will be willing to die for the ethnic groups, for their ethnic group. Okay, so and back to Nigeria being an orphan country, that's just what I have said, because Nigeria has no mother, has no father, nobody really to look out for Nigeria's welfare, because each of the groups in Nigeria look for how to maximize what they can take out of Nigeria. Nobody, in my opinion, is concerned about how they can put in what they have into Nigeria. And that is why Nigeria as rich as it uh, is still poor in certain, by all measures. It's only because Nigeria is an orphan country that nobody cares that you can extract oil in the south and pump it that many miles, hundreds of miles to the north to begin finishing or storing. Now, if any businessman makes that kind of a decision, that person is fired on the spot. Any business that operates that model will fail. But in Nigeria, because he has no father and no mother to look out for her, such a thing can happen, you know? So to me, Nigeria is a contraption of the West, as you would know. It's not really one country. They brought so many countries together and bound it as one. But the ties that bind are so loose that Nigeria remains shaky at all times. And um, on another level, because Nigeria has nobody looking out for her welfare, people just do what they want to do. Um, the justice system is shattered. When you're in Nigeria, you see along the roads speed limits posted, but what's the enforcement? That's lacking. Nigeria is an enigma of a country, but it's an orphan country all the same. And the constituents, I tell you, everybody claims to want to be more Nigerian than the other. But I think the only reason why Nigeria is still one country.
I don't know what's going on, but it's like network and
I don't think that they have renewed it, but they still insist on one Nigeria. And being able, I would tell you that one group that is truly, that truly believes in one Nigeria is the Igbo race. And I will tell you why. They go to any part of Nigeria because they believe in Nigeria. And they don't just go there. They get there, they will learn your language, they will learn your culture, and they will assimilate all that and live with you. Um, a lot of Igbo people speak different languages of Nigeria. You come to Igbo land, you see people dress in different cultural dresses. The abada and all those things may not be originally Igbo, but we wear them. But how many of the other tribes in Nigeria wear Isiago with the Igbo? The Igbo believes in one Nigeria more than the others. That is why you find them anywhere because of that belief. So Nigeria, my brother, is an orphan country, and until we find a set of parents for Nigeria, it will continue.
yeah, hello people. I don't know what's going on, but a little bit of hanging. Yeah, you have heard from the honorable. I think it's a bit, yeah, a little bit of. Yeah, okay. So thank you for your
I know
explanation of
you're
what
talking,
Nigeria
but
is.
I can't hear you yet.
You can't hear me now? Can you hear me now? I think you left and came in.
I still can't hear you, and now you're talking.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Because I can hear you very well. Oh my God.
Maybe we can take a break for a minute and just try to fix this
No,
sound
it
system.
should be coming
And
from your
you were
side.
talking,
It
but I
should be
cannot
coming from your side.
hear you.
Tell everybody, oh, Chinedwani TV. Prison Wodo Wenu Webulegu.
Yes, so my people, we are trying to fix something. Just have a little patience, and we'll be back in the station. Just have a break. Use this opportunity and share this
Let's talk our talk.
live to different
Africa
places.
boys in diaspora. Chinedwani TV. Voice of the voiceless, yo. Chinedwani TV. Make we talk our talk, yo. Chinedwani TV. Nobody can talk our talk for us, yo. Chinedwani TV. Africa's a rise. Time don't reach, yo. Make we talk our talk, oh. Oh yeah, everybody join the Chinedwani TV. Now they happen, no. Now they selenge. We don't talk our mind, yo. As it be now, so we don't talk more. Mama, papa, brother, sister, even know the youth, oh. Subscribe and follow Chinedwani TV. Eba fukona potuno, eba fukona man. Now we'll be the voice of Africa in diaspora. Chinedwani TV. Voice of Africa, where they show. Chinedwani TV. Now where we go there. Chinedwani TV. Gather your family, call everybody, oh. Chinedwani TV. Prison Wodo Wenu Webulegu.
So, hello, my people. That's what's going on. Please continue sharing. Very soon now, you'll be back to the station. We're trying to put out some logistics. His speaker is not hearing me from this point, and we can hear him. So, remember, we have Honorable Gabriel Koyo of the House of Representatives, and very soon he will be coming back to us in this show. And I think he's back to the stream. Hello.
Yes.
This is quite better. Can you hear
Okay.
me?
Yes, I can hear you.
This is quite better. This is better in lighting, in pictures, everywhere. Just go back a little. Yeah, good. Go back a little. Okay. So, okay, that's better. So, what we're trying to say is that we thank you for the explanation of what Nigeria looks like. If I got you clearly, you mentioned that Nigeria is an orphan. That is a contraction of different nations. People are, instead of putting things to make Nigeria move forward, everybody is thinking of his own people. The Igbo people are thinking, Yorubas are thinking, the Hausas are thinking. Nobody is interested in Nigeria, and Nigeria is an orphan. And that's why Nigeria is passing through what is passing through today. And until Nigeria gets a very faithful parent that can can make Nigeria not to be an orphan. That's the only time Nigeria can move forward. So thank you for that explanation. That's not the reason why we're here today, but it's good to hear from you, and thank you for that explanation. So Nigerians, we need to get better, get better. We need to, the Igbo person, the Yoruba person, the Hausa person, we need to be parents to the country called Nigeria for us to move forward. So thank you, sir. So going by what we have today, he said what the Igbos should know about themselves. So, just like I asked you about Nigeria, what do you understand? Who are the Igbos before you? Who are the Igbos before the world? As you know, you have a dual experience of being in Nigeria and being here. So, what is your synthetic analysis of the Igbo people? Who are they?
The Igbo, as I had described them at one point, uh, very industrious, very, very industrious. And they are proud people, not arrogant, but very proud, and extremely very independent. That is the evil. But lately, we seem to have forgotten that independent part of us because we seem to be waiting for some other group to approve of what we do or what we need to do before we did them. That's not the evil. The evil that I know and the ones that I was told of is the evil that waits for nobody. They just do what they needed to do and kept going. That was why back when they had regions in Nigeria, the eastern region, which was the Igbo enclave, had the fastest growing economy. And I think it was in Africa or West Africa, one of those, because relying on oil. And we were, and today, the Igbo is begging to be president. And that makes me very angry, frankly, because in a civilized world, the Igbo will be begged to come and be president. That is how it should have been, and that's how it should be, and that's what we should try to make it to be. Because let's look at it. We haven't been president, at least with the executive powers, but we have done very well for ourselves. That means we know what we are doing. And if you let people know, if people know that you can do this, you know what you're doing, it's a lot easier for them to hire you to do the work that will benefit them too. But we seem to be begging. That must not be the case. Because, listen, we haven't been president. Compare the average Igbo person to a non Igbo in other ethnic groups and see whose life is better. Yes, it can always be better for us, but if you look at the average person, the Igbo is much better. And if you look at where the Igbo came from to where they are today, that's mind boggling. And that's one thing I want every Igbo person to please be proud of yourself because the lizard fell from the Iroko tree and nobody praised him. And he nodded in affirmation, in praise and kept going. Don't forget, the Igbo we are talking about were given 20 pounds after that war and assets seized. And Nigeria did the indigenization program when the Igbo had no money. For a family of 10 like mine, £20? Two parents, eight children, £20? That that was a dead statement, really. Go and die of starvation. But the Igbo dug down. They dug deep. The never die spirit of the Igbo person would build from that £20 to a region where the poverty rate is no worse than second in the whole Nigeria, if not first. Isn't that a good example of what you should be looking for in a person who should be president of the country? But the Igbo sometimes goes to beg for that, and I don't agree with it. The Igbo should be begged to be president of Nigeria. And if you ask me, we shouldn't be worried. I think the leadership of Nigeria is a distraction for the Igbo person. We know what we do well and what we do best. If we should just forget about it and build our region, which we have done, which we still can continue to do. Listen, if you ask me, frankly, I know many people might disagree with what I'm about to say, but think about it. If the Igbo would turn their backs, keep flying the Nigerian flag, but do not accept any ministerial position, appointment, don't have any candidates for federal seats, Senate or House of Rep. We just do our governorship election and do our houses of assembly election and continue to do our business in Nigeria. And forget, just let the rest lead, them lead Nigeria. I know some people will even be saying, okay, that means we're going to let them just pass bills that will be against us in the National Assembly. My question is, have we stopped them now? They still pass, they still can pass any bill they want to today. We don't have the numbers to do that. So we may as well come back and do what we do best, concentrate on it. I was told that during the Eastern region, the Onitsha Treasury funded the region as a whole. If that is true, then ask yourself, Onitsha is still there? That region has been divided into 5 states. Onitsha can't even fund Anambra State, where it is. So what happened? I think we need to go back to the drawing board. Here are my recommendations. First of all, since I was born, I've been hearing about the agenda of the North, or Northern agenda. Nobody else's agenda. And for people that have an agenda, it has worked for them. So where is the Igbo agenda? I tried after the handshake across the Niger to push for a certain Nigerian agenda. It fizzled. So why not we have an Igbo agenda? And we usually, when people say that somebody is a saboteur, I ask them, how do you measure that? What exactly did we decide to do that this person went around and sabotaged it? The Igbo need to have an agenda, and that agenda will be what we can use to now say that the Igbo person who goes against it is a saboteur. You have something to measure from. Right now, we don't. We need an agenda. Let's sit down. Each state should bring a couple of people. Let's go into a room and have an agenda. If we want the presidency, it should be on our agenda. If we want to turn our backs on the leadership of Nigeria, it should be on our agenda. Whatever it is we want to do, it should be on our agenda. And those of us in the diaspora should also have a role to play. Yes, we send remittances home. Back when I was chairman of Nigerians in diaspora for the two continents of America, I think remittances as at that time would range from 22 to $25 billion. Let me tell you, those remittances are good, but in a way, we have made some of our families dependent and a little lazy. What about a situation where we have the Igbo Diaspora Investment Program, where we can pool that money? You can dig a little deeper and still find some change to send to your families. So we can pool our money and help in the development of infrastructure in Igbo land. For instance, who says you can't build a seaport in either the Niger or the Oguta? Who says you can't do that? Who says you cannot help trade with a fast rail, since they would not extend one to the east? Igbo has been the ones helping themselves. The diaspora can come in and also help to make sure that the Igbo is well positioned. So I guess the long and short of it is I want the Igbo to know that uh, you are uh, you are great people. That is established. So walk with your shoulders, with your heads down. No, walk with it held high. Don't be arrogant. Don't be arrogant. But if you have something to celebrate, don't stop either, because the Igbo is a special breed of people. We have come out of the worst situation any set of human beings could be put in to where we are today. That alone should give us joy. But we seem to have forgotten what we did to come out of it. We need to get back to doing what we know how to do best. That is where I stand. The Igbo race is great. The Igbo race is unstoppable. I mean, it really is. Look at what has been thrown at them in Nigeria. Cut-off mark for universities, but they still scale all of those. It is important that we recognize who we are and tap into it and let our children who are up and coming see that in us. Because if what they see is laxity, that is what they will emulate. And we would have lost what it means to be able. Industrious, proud people, and extremely independent. Thank you.
Well, thank you for this explanation. is mind blowing, and I think people, our audience are increasing. People are really coming to watch, and please keep sharing this. And remember, we still have who we have in the studio today is Honorable Gabriel Koye of the Georgia State House of Representatives in United States of America, speaking to Ndibo of who they are: independent, proud, industrious. If I got you clearly, you mentioned that the Igbo man should not be begging Nigeria for presidency, that Nigeria should beg the Igbo people to come and get it because they have what it takes to make Nigeria move forward. Yes, and really, I think it's this pursuit of political things rather than what we are known for that distracts us a lot, if I got you clearly. So thank you, sir. Let me just quickly read out something that was said by somebody. According to the American economic journalist Robert New, the Igbos in Alabama can generate $4 billion annually. That's 2 trillion naira. Think about that for a minute. 10,000 Igbos generate more internal revenue than the 19 northern states combined. To put this in perspective, note that Kaduna generated 44 billion IGR last year and was celebrated by the Northern Governors Forum. If Igbos can unite, even politically or any other, the way they unite economically, they won't need to beg for Igbo presidency. It will be theirs. They can raise billions of dollars for the right candidate. They can afford to have a polling agent in each of the 120,000 polling units in Nigeria. Something that PDP could not achieve in 2019 due to the cost. They can outspend anybody. The day the Igbos will wake up to what really God has given them, which is entrepreneurship and business. No, they will stop begging for power, and people will beg them for it. This is what a journalist wrote. So I just read this thing out to support what you are saying, that if the Igbo people should concentrate, that's a gift God has given to us. And that is more important. This thing happened when the Germans, they had the Western Germany, and you understand me? And when the Western Germany people decided to hold the economy tight, they had the German people had no other alternative than to work with them and make sure things are going well. So instead of unnecessary agitations, unnecessary things here and there that even affect us internally, we should concentrate to what God has given us. And with that economic kind of hope, I know that Igbo man is not stubborn. I agree with you, sir. So let's go forward a bit about what is happening recently. I've seen in the media, I think, and there's proof that the Georgia State, United States, gave Nnamdi Kanu the Honorary Citizen Award. And since you are from the state and you are integral part of the Georgia State in the legislative arm, what can you tell us about this and why? Why should the United States think of that, especially at this period when is in prison?
Why not? So I'll start with why not? Because I did that.
Wow.
I made sure I got that certificate. And I also presented that certificate to the people they want me to present it to. Because, listen, what's the guy's crime? When I looked into the case, he hasn't committed any crime. His crime is to be evil. He's a prisoner of conscience. And if I agree with somebody going to prison because he's evil, then we're all prisoners. I mean, we're all criminals. And any one of us will be next. You know? So I wanted to call attention to him, and there's more coming because I want to also keep attention to him. We will see Onyaga na Nwanne. We will not turn our back because he's in prison. And to be clear, I'm not a member of IPOC. I may have my disagreements with Kano himself, but I'm an Igbo person. And look, people who have done much worse, non-Igbos, uh, parading the streets and even being given amnesty and recycled into military. And it was this morning somebody called me and told me that another person from the West who was also vocal about his people's independence was given pardon, to come back to Nigeria. But the person whose crime is to ask that for self-determination for his people is in prison after being in jail, being held in jail for how many years? No trial. And when they did try him, from all I've learned, it was a child's play. It is still just a way to try and hold the Igbo down. But just like water, it's tough to hold Igbo down. You'll find its way. Okay? So I did that, and I'll do more. That's that's just it. He deserves it because that young man, uh, he moved a nation and he moved a generation. I mean, you can say what you want about him, but I do not agree with the way he has been sentenced and held, how he's been held for years without trial. That is only in Nigeria. In Nigeria, we have statements and rules, but no enforcement. So that's that for me. So it was a fitting award, and I'm happy to have made it happen. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I am amazed that this kind of thing is coming from you. And oh my God. So thank you. I don't know. So what are the privileges? Because some of us don't even know. For having that kind of certificate and giving to him, even though he's in prison. So, like, he's out today or he is there to receive it. What are the privileges attached to it from the United States?
It's a simple recognition. And in this case, I wanted to call, I wanted to cause limelight to be on him again so that, people will remember that this guy is unjustly imprisoned. Okay. And I think to a greater extent, that succeeded because people have been calling me from all over the world and saying thank you, thank you, thank you. And I think that succeeded. And as an honorary citizen, you don't get any, you cannot get a visa to come here. That's a federal government consign. And if you're here and you go to any city, then they will host you as an honorary citizen of Georgia, as an ambassador of Georgia. That's what you get. But in his situation, when he's not here, he is where he is. I wanted to call attention to his situation. Okay.
Yeah, thank you for that very important
And by
gifts
the
to our.
way, yes, yes. By the way, I wanted to also chip in something about Nigeria. The first question you did ask. Um, when I was the chairman of Nigerians in diaspora, we would have events, and the attendance never measures to the events of even a single town from in any state. For instance, uh, if people from say Oka in Anambra are doing their convention, you're going to see a hall filled to the brim with people. If people from the Yoruba area are doing something, you're going to see a huge hall filled with people. But when it is Nigeria, the umbrella, that's where you see the smallest turnout. These are telltale signs that Nigeria isn't quite the country it is supposed, it is propped up to be. And it was important to make this uh, point because what we see is not encouraging. Sorry, I digressed.
No, it's not a digression per se. It's just about us, and it's important that you made reference. That's a practical example because you were in a position where you empirically observed the kind of indifference in our participation when the matter is about Nigeria. You understand? So,
Yes, yes. And the same thing happened when I was Igbo Union president here in Atlanta. Man, if we did something, the hall was packed. I'm telling you, packed. Not the same when Nigeria does. But anyway, that's neither here nor there.
okay, thank you, sir. In this aspect now, that's you have talked about the Igbo people, talked about Nigeria, talked about those things are things done in our place. Your target for this discussion was our place, but please, I want to bring you in back to where you represent the United States of America. You know, recently you can see that the Nigerians here fall into some of the restrictions, visa restrictions, entrance restrictions. Is there anything you people are doing as Nigerians to make sure that our people are seen from a good limelight? Because some of these restrictions are coming from analysis resulting from things that are not okay. Like the two reasons for this last restriction was that Nigeria is considered a state of concern, and the second one was that in the rate of those who overstay when they are given invitations to come to the United States, that Nigeria is of higher percentage. So, what's your reaction to this?
Listen, um, nothing changed between when Biden was president and now that somebody else is president. But you didn't see Biden do that. Uh, I want to define the agenda of the current president. It's only one. His goal is to make America white again. That is all. That is why, for the first time in the history of this great nation, immigration got more money than defense. And that is why ICE is so empowered. You saw what happened just the other day. They can kill people indiscriminately and just keep going. That is why, from the first day of his presidency, Mr. Trump said he wanted Greenland. He's still fighting for to get Greenland because he knows there are not many blacks there. He wanted to make Canada the 51st state. Why? Because he knows there are not many blacks there. This all fits into making America white again. And that is why the browns, the blacks, look at that list of countries under restriction. Tell me a white country that's there. But while he is doing this, he is granting refugee status to white Afrikaners, the people, the apartheid people. He is granting refugee status to them. They can come here easily and settle. He wants people from Norway to come to America because he knows Norway is mostly white people. So don't get confused. Nigeria might be an angel, but because they know that Nigeria has a highest number of blacks, Nigeria is a target for that. Because if you keep Nigerians out, you reduce the number of blacks coming into this country. That is making America white again. But listen, what I say is that the train has left the station. He who fetched an ant infested firewood invited the lizards to dinner. The blacks didn't come here of their own volition. It was the white Americans that introduced the blacks into America forcefully. Now they have to also deal with the consequences of it. And that is where I stop.
Okay, thank you. Just a little bit of extension because a lot of things happen like this Nigeria. In Nigeria, let me tell you the truth. You know, we are in the media and we're observing something. A lot of people are home, not people in diaspora anyway. So Nigerians are home. A lot of them celebrate Trump. They celebrate Trump because, you know, the insurgency, the insecurity in Nigeria, just for a tweet from Trump and for getting involved, collaborating, and assisting the military in Nigeria for once to drop one or two, military interventions in some locations. Nigeria, all the Nigerians are cheering. We know we are in the social media. So some of them will not, don't know all these things you are saying. And I'm very sure some people are hearing it for the first time. But all that we understand in Nigeria is that Trump is the savior because he's coming to fight insurgency, which is one of the most important things Nigeria need now. So the feeling down there might not be in consonance with the explanation you're giving from those
No,
who are here.
I understand. I understand. But I have to also tell the truth of the matter. And God doesn't use perfect people to do his work most of the time. Uh, Depending on which side of the aisle you're in. If you're in Nigeria, you may see Trump differently from those of us who live here because we know the conditions, we know what is happening. But the people in Nigeria, um, they don't feel it how we feel it here. Yes, I was actually in Nigeria when uh, the Sokoto bombing happened. Um, People came, a lot of people came to my place and asking me the question, how do I feel? I'm like, well, um, I mean, some people call me from here. What does Nigeria think about Trump's action? I said it depends on which part you are from. For the most part, people in the south and southeast and south would approve of it if you're a Christian. People in the north would disapprove of it if you're a Muslim. You understand? So it depends on which lens you're using to look at it. Okay. Now, um, he did that, and some people will approve, some people will not approve, but that still goes to what I talked about, making America white again. The sub part of it is uh, he also does not like militant Islamism, you know. So that's why if you look in that list, you see some Islamic countries included in it. He would also want to reduce the number. Okay. But uh, before, even before he did this, many Nigerians liked him because they said he's not uh, for gays or whatever, lesbians and stuff like that. Everybody can make their own conclusions and have their own opinions. But gay or no gay doesn't put food on my table. The decisions he makes, many neighborhood stores are closing down, and that's affecting many families. But everybody can draw their own conclusions. But I know that with all you have seen, number one priority of this presidency is to make America white again. That is all.
Okay, thank you. I think you've done great, and we are happy that you are here today, and a lot of our people. What is the message you can have? This is Chinedu Anichi TV, African Voice, and what is the message you have for the Africans in diaspora, entirely Africans, using their voice, Can you, in a summary, what's your major message to Africans in diaspora, especially Africans in America?
Well, I will remind them that out of many, we are one. You can be Zimbabwean, you can be Kenyan, you can be Nigerian, you can be whatever. But guess what? We are one. We are Africans. And that's why I take under my tutelage uh, children from uh, African heritage. I try to help them out, because for some people, Obama becoming president of this country didn't sit well for them. Well, I'd like to make them angry again by having somebody like him once more become the president of America again. So we have to work together. We have to forget the divisions they have implanted, you know, among us, and remember that only together we can succeed. And we have the numbers. We have the numbers, you know. Only together we can succeed, you know. And while I have this audience, I want to talk briefly about Igbo landing. Igbo landing, for those who do not know, is here in Georgia at St. Simon's Island, uh, southeast of Atlanta area. the southeast part of the state. Um, the Igbo people were taken on the slave ship, but they didn't know it was being going to slavery. But however that story went, when they found out that slavery was their destination, they revolted, and some part of the history will tell you they killed three white men, and the ship ran aground in St. Simon's Island. They came out, and many of them, instead of being slaves, linked arms and walked right back into the river and drowned. And as they were doing that, they were singing a song in Igbo land. "Mmụọ mmiri butere anyị, mmụọ mmiri ga-ebughachi anyị." The water spirit brought us here, and the water spirit will take us back home. Those brave men went home. They went home. And we are working. Fortunately, I am the chair of Igbo Landing Foundation, and we are working to get uh, that site declared as a historical site so we can build a befitting monument for those men. You may not hear too much about this story. Um, the white history tries to bury this story, uh, but like Chino Achebe said, the story of the hunt is always told by the hunters until the lions learn how to talk. Well, the lions were the children, the descendants of Africa. I think we have learned to talk. We can even roar now if we want. We need to find a way to come together to build a monument that will tell the history of those brave men. Thank you. I think I've lost you again. Can't hear you.
Hold on, hold on.
Now I hear you.
Oh, you can hear me now.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So, what I'm saying is that this Igbo landing issue is a very important thing for them to decide. So, and it's a very good thing. People would like to. A lot of people are calling in. We are not taking calls today. I don't think there's time for taking calls today. A lot of people are calling in from Canada, from Australia, and please, all you can do for us, we might not have, you might not have all the time to take calls today. So please just, but if you permit me to take one or two calls, that will be fine. But if not, somebody has typed, somebody has already sent his own message on screen. You can see it on the screen. He says, uh, Honorable Rep Okoye, is there any program you and some other Nigerians serving in various political positions in America are promoting to help get our children, especially those who are born here in American politics? Do you have any forum that have order?
Not coordinated, but personally, I mentor quite a lot of children, quite a lot of people, and I'm always I answer when one of the strongest organizations here, Umuibo Unite. These are children that are born here. They have a formidable organization. So I answer whenever they call, and I always tell them I'm available. Come, and I have been doing that, working with those who have indicated interest, because it is important that we train the next generation who will be taken over. Because this journey that we have embarked on is just the beginning. And there's something else we're working on, but uh, it's a pack that we're working on that will also help them. Yes.
Okay, that's great. So, to the person who asked this question is Honorable Felix. Felix is, he said he's watching from North Carolina. So, people are watching from different. Somebody just called from Canada. The other person called from Australia. So, it's great that you are here today, and wonderful one. So, I asked you for the message for Nigerians in diaspora, and you decided to talk about the landing. So let's have a summarized message for you for Nigerians in diaspora, motivating, encouraging, admonishing, because a lot of people are looking up to you. Because it's not easy for you to come from Nigeria. You told me the history of how you worked in security, or the other, on the other, and with all these rigorous processes, today you are a voice in the Georgia State of House of Representatives. So it's not easy. So a lot of people are looking up to you.
Well, get involved. That is the first thing I say. Get involved. And the reason I say so is it is because I got involved that I was elected the Democratic Party chairman, the second largest county in this state, because I got involved. It's because I got involved that I became the first black person to serve on the planning commission in this county. It's because I got involved that I done so many stuff that November 6th was named Gabriel Koye Leadership Day in this county. It's because I got involved that I am in the House today. So my thing is get involved. It doesn't matter what level you get involved in. But because I tried to help during Obama time, my name got into the Democratic Party's database. They kept calling me for years. I didn't answer. But at one point, I said, "Let me go see what's going on." And it's from there, because I got involved, and I became the African who um, became a member of the state committee of my party and even became the vice chair of the 7th Congressional District. So getting involved is what's required. But the other thing is you have to always make sure that you act lawfully because many times uh, when you don't do that, it becomes difficult, even after you've gotten involved, to make progress. Okay? So just keeping that in mind. And knowing that as Nigerians, we are expected to fail many times. So once you get in, give it your best shot. Listen, the reason I work hard is so that the next Nigerian who comes, it'll be easier for that person. I took the leadership of our party in this county. It was Republican controlled before I took leadership. And I worked hard and changed it, took it away from the Republicans and tucked it away in the blue column, which is why somebody like me can be elected to office. If it was when the Republicans were in control, definitely I will not be elected. So get involved and do your part. And also, whether you have an accent or not, I'll end with this. When I was first elected the party chairman, I got so many calls from different parts of the world, and each will ask me, "Chief, how did you do it with your accent?" I would laugh and tell them, if you bring somebody from California down here, they have an accent. I mean, white people, right? If you bring somebody from New York, they will have an accent. You bring a Canadian, he or she will have an accent. You bring a Kenyan, he or she will have an accent. Therefore, my conclusion is, if you do not sound like I do, you're the one with the accent. That's it. So don't let that stop you from doing what you want to do. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Before we draw the curtain for the day, you have really made efforts to bring time to this kind of wonderful time to be here. Before we draw the curtain for the day, what will you tell the world about this emerging platform, this TV, Chinedu and it? Because you say get involved. I am getting involved in the media. So what will you tell our people about me? What will you tell our people about this media platform? Because it is necessary. Thank you.
Because you got involved. That's why I hosted you to the Capitol the first time,
Yes, sir.
because you're still involved. That's why I am here for this interview. And then I want to tell people that because you do a good job, that was why I came back. If you hadn't done a good job, I would not have accepted the request, the interview request. So Chinedu TV does a great job, everyone, and reach out to him, support his business, because we are one and the same. I could go to American TV, but then the audience will be different. But the message that we are given today will know the audience, and Chinedu will make sure that he gets there. So, Jessica, my brother, thank
Oh,
you.
thank you, brother. So, my people, you have seen it. It was a great one. It was mind blowing, and today we had our own very erudite song. You know, politically tested and proved in their county, a representative, a legislator, a father, a real father. When the concept of fatherhood and sacrifice is concerned, under rain and sun, you will see him. So he doesn't joke with those of us here and close to him. So always reach out to him if you have challenges. If he cannot solve every problem, but he might refer you to where your problem will be solved. So this is our brother, and you can see he finds a way to his roots. He's in America, but he's not completely Americanized. He's still Igbo acquainted and Igbotic and marginalized. Okay, so thank you for coming here, sir, today. Thank you. We are grateful. We are grateful. So
Thank you.
each time we have this kind of maybe we have something that comes up that needs your talking to our people. Please don't hesitate to be here again and speak with our people.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks for
thank you
the
so much.
offer.
I'm
Bye
grateful.
bye.
Thank you. Yeah, bye. So, hello, my people. My name is Chinedu Anichi, your one and only celebrity CSO African Voice. You have seen today we had Honorable Gabriel Okoye from Georgia State House of Representatives. It was a mind-blowing one for the Igbo people. Igbo Kwen, Igbo Kwezwe. So you have seen it, and for Nigerians, you have heard. For Africans, you have heard. So if you have anything important to communicate to the African community globally, this is the plug, Chinedu Anichi TV. So, what we're doing today is an African outfit. You can come from the, if you are an Hausa, you have something to tell the Hausa people. This forum is for you. If you are a Yoruba, you have something to tell the Yoruba people. This is for you. If you are from Kenya, you are from South Africa, you are from Accra in Ghana or Ashanti, wherever you come from, and you are an African. Even if you are from Caucasian, you are from Germany, you are from everywhere, and you want to speak to the African community, say, this is your short blog. God bless you. We want to use this opportunity to thank all our sponsors and those who are making this TV what it is today. God bless you. God bless you. And God bless you again.
Let's talk our talk. Africa boys in diaspora. Chinebani GTV. Voice of the voiceless, yo. Chinebani GTV. Make we talk our talk, yo. Chinebani GTV. Nobody can talk our talk for us, yo. Chinebani GTV. Africa's a rise. Time don't reach, yo. Make we talk our talk, oh. Oh yeah, everybody join the Chinedani TV. Now that it happen, no. Now that it selenge. We don't talk our mind, yo. As it be now, so we don't talk more. Mama, papa, brother, sister, even the YouTube. Subscribe and follow Chinedani TV. Eba fukona potuno, eba fukona man. Now who be the voice of Africa in diaspora? Chinedani TV. Voice of Africa, where they show. Chinedani TV. Now where we go there? Chinedani TV. Gather your family, call everybody, oh. Chinedani TV. Prison, what don't want to go.